Hi guys, it's Shannon again from Whitchurch Silk Mill. I'm here to bring you your weekly Crafty Friday. So this week we are got a bit for both adults and kids. We're making Pom Pom Flowers with a nice vase bottle that you can wrap with yarn. We'll make it look really creative. So we're looking for an end product a bit like this. So you can see that. There will be a picture. Lovely, cool. So there's a few bits that you're going to need. We've got some different coloured yarns, some glue, a bit of cardboard, cereal, or as everyone's got quite a lot of at the moment, Easter egg, boxes, something to draw circles with, or you can always do a bit of string, some scissors, pencil, paintbrush for glue, a stick, and a bottle. Okay, so let's clear these bits out of the way first. Cool. So we're going to start with the pom-poms, get the fun bit going. Get my stick out of the way. Okay, so as I've drawn here already, you're going to need to make an outer circle and then a small circle. I've done this with a lid from a water bottle. So just want to hold that still. I'm not making them massive because they stick on the sticks better smaller. But if you want to make great big pom-poms for your flowers, or you want to have a varied of sizes, go ahead, crack on, make lots of different colours. On mine I've got white and rusty orange, but you can, whatever you've got, make it colourful. You can put multiple colours in one pom-pom. I'll get around to that in a minute. So all you're going to want to do is then cut out your pom-pom like this. I've got some smaller scissors for this bit, but big ones will work because just my scissors aren't very good. So you want to try and don't make sure your hands aren't on the other side. Just stab a hole through. A bit of blue tack also works if you have it on the other side and then stab it in. So just be careful with this bit. Best to get an adult to cut this middle bit out. So we're just going to go round, round and round. Cool, and then you keep going all the way round until you get two pieces like this. Cool, so from there we're going to pick our colour. So I've got this nice rusty orange. You're going to want to do in little bundles because it's got a squeeze through this little hole. So just get a nice little bit there. And then I'm going to wrap it this way, try and get it narrow. Oh, there we go. Just do a nice little bundle there. Don't want to make it too big. Like I said, it's got to get through here. So I've got my little bit of yarn. I'm going to stick these two together. Doesn't matter which way you put them. I just put them this way because the rough bits can hold them together better. I'm going to get my bit of yarn. You can tie this on here, which might work quite a lot easier, but I tend to hold it. It really doesn't make much of a difference. It's just whatever's easiest for you. And all I'm going to do is just keep wrapping round. And like I said, once you run out of this one, or you want to switch, you can put a bit of your another colour in. So I could always put a bit of my creamy white that I've got going in here as well, which might look really interesting. So you just put whatever you want in, and I'm just going to keep going round. It's going to unravel a bit, but if you just keep shoving it through, this hole will get smaller and smaller, this gap, so you have to do smaller bundles and you have to kind of thread it through. And if you've got those large needles, they're good for right near the end. So we just keep wrapping round. So what we're looking for is trying to keep relatively even. It doesn't matter if you've got a little bit that's a bit thicker there or the other way, but just try and keep it as even possible and nice and chunky, so eventually it will look like this. So I've got this, like I say, this bit's a bit chunkier than there, but as long as it's all full, once the pom-pom comes out, it should be pretty good. Okay, again, this is a bit you might want to grab hand from an adult. What I'm doing is getting my scissors. Now big ones will work with this as well. The sharp ones are quite good at this because they're little, they can get in. So what I've done is I've opened this little bit here, and in here I've got my gap between the two bits of cardboard. I'm just going to get the first bit of the scissor blade into there. I'm just going to hold like that and snip around. So I'm just going to keep following that cardboard around. It can be tough, especially with big ones, because obviously there's a lot more yarn to get through. You might have to do it bit by layer. But these little pom-poms don't cause too much problem. So as it goes, just going to keep snipping, keep snipping. And what will be really nice if you have done lots of different colours is you'll start seeing it all come out and spread. So all I'm going to do is get a bit of the yarn, same colour or one of the colours you've used. And I'm just going to open this bit up and push this through. So this bit is good for if you're making pom-poms that you want to hang on to something, or you want to be pom-pom bunting or something like that. You then can just make a little bow and it'll hold it steady. I'm just going to do around again and tie that tight. Give it an extra knot. Make sure, because if you don't do it tight enough, it'll be really loose and your bits will start coming out. So I'm just going to snip down this part of the card and then you just twist it out like that, and then you have a pom-pom. Nice and easy. The bigger they are, the longer they'll take, obviously, but they can be really impressive. And you can churn out those of these little things. Cool. So I'll show you how to make it on the stick. So I've got my little twig, which I've got from one of my daily walks. Just a little thin one. I don't want a big chunky one because I've got to be able to fit it through the top of the bottle. And I've got my glue. If I can, just need to get the glue out the top. It's all glued up. Okay, should be better now. Obviously be careful with stabbing the end of the glue like that. Catch yourself. So I'm just going to find a little bit in here. I'm going to dab that glue in. I'm going to put my stick in there and I'm going to hold it first. And then what you're going to do is that obviously that's going to take a little while to stay because that's PVA. So I'm just going to sit it aside. See, it's already holding, but I'm just going to sit it aside and let that dry. So this is a bit that will take you a little bit longer. So this bit is making the bottle. I have started down this end, but I'm going to show you this end because it's easier when you're coming over the slope. I just grab. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit, dab some bit of my glue on. And I've got my glue brush here. You've got like something to spread it with. That's really good. And put that all on there. I'm just going to put a little bit more on for the first bit because it's got a hold while I wrap it round. So you want a nice big blob there. Cool. So then I've got my yarn and I can find the end of it. Where are you? Oh dear. There it is. There we go. And I'm just gonna stick that there. Now it might be easier if you do just let that sit for a little bit, just to make sure it holds. I'm just gonna put a bit more glue around this top bit here, where I've missed a bit, while I hold that on, so that will hold better when I start. When you first start doing it, you're going to have to be quite loose with it because you don't want to pull it out of the glue, but once you've got it going, you can get a bit of tension on it. I'm just going to gently spin it round like that, and then it should just start going round. I'm just spinning the bottle, but you can't, you can, whatever's comfortable. If you find a better way, you can wrap like this, if this is easier. Like that. And then I'm just going to grab a bit more. Going to put it all the way around. I might get quite sticky doing this, I know I have done. when I did the other ones. I'm just going to make sure I get right up here, because right into this gap there, because that's where the next layer is going to go. You need that to stick. It doesn't matter if you get the glue on the outside, because it does dry clear. You want to make sure you've got quite a bit off from your bundle, because what you don't want to happen is as you're wrapping it round, it gets stuck and then pulls all the other ones off. But it does dry quite quickly. So I'm just spinning my bottle round and holding this in the right place. I'm not doing too many gaps. This is just a colour scheme I've picked, but you can put whatever on, and it doesn't have to be really neat. This is just my OCD. I like it neat, but if you want it to like come over, and you can be like crisscrossy and all sorts, and lots of colour, and everybody can help out. So it can be a group effort. So you just want to keep wrapping round and round and round and round. So eventually, when you do get to this bit, it will be a little bit trickier, because it will keep trying to slide down, but it should, as it come up, want to just sit into that one. It just might mean being a little bit more gentle and taking your time and just gently poking it as you go around, but you'll find your own knack for it when you get to it. You'll see what I mean. So that's me just wrapping it round, and then eventually, once it's all dry, I've done one here. Oh, my sticks don't want to come out. I've done one here where I've done completely all of that blue. Lovely different shaped bottles are really good. And I've done one where I've done lots of blue down the bottom, and this like twine, garden twine up the top, which works really nice. What I'm going to do with that other one is I'm going to go blue all the way down, and then I'm going to put a bit of the Hessian garden twine. I might do some stripes with it as well. And when you start and finish another one, all you want to do is get to here, and like you did at the beginning, put a nice blob of glue, just hold that for a little bit, let that dry a little bit so it holds. Get this other new bit and do exactly the same. I mean, you could do it at the same time and just hold it, let it set a little bit so it's got some strength for you to start going, and off you go. It is easier with a smoother bottle like the one I had earlier. This one had a bit of lumps to it, but it worked nicely and it came out, I think, relatively okay. So that's what that's going to look like. And then your pom-poms will look like this, and then eventually all you have to do is stick your sticks in like this, and you have your pom-pom vase, which will look a lot like this.